Hello. Today we continue to read from the New Testament book of Acts, but we will be reading from chapter 8. This is the Greenbrier Valley Church of the Nazarene with your daily devotion, and it is Friday, November the 17th. We are reading from the book of Acts, chapter 8. We will read verses 26 through 40. And here's the word of the Lord. Now an angel of the Lord said to Philip, "Go south to the road, the desert road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza." So he started out, and on his way he met an Ethiopian eunuch, an important official in charge of all the treasury of Candace, queen of the Ethiopians. This man had gone to Jerusalem to worship, and on his way home was sitting in his chariot reading the book of Isaiah the prophet. The Spirit told Philip, "Go to that chariot and stay near it." And Philip ran up to the chariot and heard the man reading Isaiah the prophet. "Do you understand what you are reading?" Philip asked. "How can I," he said, "unless someone explains it to me?" So he invited Philip to come up and sit with him. The eunuch was reading this passage of Scripture. "He was led like a sheep to the slaughter, and as a lamb before the shearer is silent, he did not open his mouth. In his humiliation he was deprived of justice. Who can speak of his descendants, for his life was taken from the earth?" The eunuch asked Philip, "Please tell me, who is the prophet talking about, himself or someone else?" Then Philip began with that very passage of Scripture and told him the good news about Jesus. As they traveled along the road, they came to some water, and the eunuch said, "Look, here is water. Why shouldn't I be baptized?" And he gave orders to stop the chariot. Then both Philip and the eunuch went down into the water, and Philip baptized him. When they came up out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord suddenly took Philip away, and the eunuch did not see him again, but went on his way rejoicing. Philip, however, appeared at Azotus and traveled about preaching the gospel in all the towns until he reached Caesarea. And that is the word of the Lord. The article today is Alert to the Spirit, written by Kara Schoenemann. Here's what Kara has to say for us today. As an athlete growing up, I often heard the saying, "Practice makes perfect." I applied this to my soccer skill development, where I would practice hard in hopes that my skill would become perfect. I have recently heard an adjustment to this quote saying, "Practice makes permanent." This resonates with me deeply because when I was 16 years old, I blew out my right knee. I practiced movements over and over with incorrect biomechanics, which resulted in a back injury almost 10 years later. I am back in physical therapy again at age 33 because I blew out my left knee. The contrast to my previous recovery is night and day. I have a physical therapist who is adamant about correct biomechanics so that I do not adopt bad habits that could result in further injury in the future. The same could be said for being in tune with the Spirit. We have to practice to hear the Spirit so that our response to the Spirit is automatic. We have to practice what it means to be alert, to hear what the Spirit is saying, and faithfully obey. Give Me a Holy Life by Leslie Taylor Hunt. Cleanse, thou refining flame, all that is mine. Self only may remain if thou refine. And from the book of 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Please pray that Christians in Mesoamerica will be strengthened in their faith. And this is your daily devotion for Friday, November the 17th. Have a blessed day.